Welcome to HardScript.
Help me reach 5,000 subscribers. Support the video with a like and leave your thoughts in the comments. I came home to a half-packed closet and a single-line message on the kitchen counter. I don't need a man to be happy. No fight, no explanation. Just that. My name's Ryan Mercer, 38 years old, project manager for a cybersecurity firm in Austin, Texas. Married for 11 years. Until that night. She'd said those words before, half joking, half daring me to test her independence. But this time, something was different. The house felt like an empty warehouse. Cold. Still smelled like her perfume, though. Vanilla and something expensive. I remember standing there, holding that note, hearing my phone buzz on the counter. Notification from our shared credit card. New charge. Hotel. Downtown. She didn't even wait 24 hours. I didn't rage, didn't throw anything. I just stared at that message for a long time and replied with one line of my own. Good. I'll let you prove it. Then I turned off my phone and went outside. The Texas heat hit like a furnace. My neighbor, Carl, was mowing his lawn, nodded at me like it was just another day. It wasn't. You learn a lot about people when they think they've won. Jenna always needed attention. Every post, every photo was a performance, a life filtered to perfection. And me? I was the quiet one. The guy behind the camera, not in front of it. That night, I sat on my porch and opened a blank document. I wrote 3 words at the top. Freeze. Track. Respond. That's what I do for a living. Trace digital footprints. Track behavior. See patterns others miss. And I'd just been given a new project. The next morning, her social media went silent. No stories, no posts, no selfies from the hotel balcony. But I noticed small shifts. Mutual friends suddenly unfollowing me. Her sister liking photos she hadn't touched in months. The online ripples of a story being rewritten. I didn't interfere. Not yet. Instead, I logged into an old backup account from college, one I used for penetration testing. No trace to my real name. Within an hour, I had access to her public posts, her tagged photos, her comments under self-love quotes. She wasn't healing. She was performing. By the end of that week, she'd changed her relationship status to finding myself. Moved into an overpriced apartment in East Austin. New job, new haircut, new identity. But what she didn't know was that digital independence leaves a trail. And hers was leading somewhere interesting. Late Friday night, I saw it. A new follower on her page. Username JustTim83. No posts. No profile picture. But I recognized the pattern. Same timestamp behavior as her activity. The same likes. The same phrasing and comments she used to leave on my posts. She'd made a fake account. She wasn't proving she didn't need me. She was watching me to see if I'd fallen apart. And I hadn't. Not yet. But soon, she'd learn that silence is not surrender. It's strategy. Jenna's fake account wasn't subtle. Same phrasing. Same time pattern. The same late-night likes on photos she shouldn't have cared about anymore. She thought she was invisible, but to me, she was a blinking red light in a dark room. I didn't block her. I let her watch. People reveal more when they think they're hidden. Over the next few weeks, I rebuilt myself quietly. New gym routine, new wardrobe, even reconnected with old friends I'd ignored during our marriage. On the surface, I was moving on. Inside, I was dissecting the patterns of how everything had unraveled. Looking back, the signs were everywhere. The way she'd started calling my discipline control. The way she flinched when I checked our shared calendar. The nights she said she needed me time, but turned off her location. Most men ignore those things until it's too late. I didn't. I archived them. Every date, every message, every shift in tone. One evening, while scrolling through my activity logs, I noticed something strange. Someone had logged into our old streaming account from a new device, a MacBook that wasn't mine. The location tag? Her new apartment. But the username attached to the profile wasn't hers. It was J, not Jenna. Just J. A test, maybe. Seeing if I'd notice. Or if I'd reach out. I didn't. I let it sit. Because if she wanted a reaction, she wasn't going to get one. Instead, I turned the data back on her. I started posting small things. Subtle. Not bragging. Just enough to make her wonder. A photo from a dinner. 2 plates, one half finished. A coffee mug next to mine at sunrise. The caption, good mornings hit different when they're quiet. Within hours, JustTim83 viewed the post 3 times. Then again the next morning. She was spiraling. The woman who said she didn't need a man couldn't stop checking if the man she'd left was happy without her. The irony didn't make me feel better. It made me sharper. One night, I ran a digital trace on her new job's website, following employee accounts linked to her name. It took less than 10 minutes to find him. The marketing lead she'd been spending so much me time with. Same coffee shop check-ins. Same car in her driveway from her tagged photos. That's when I realized something. Jenna wasn't finding herself. She was trying to replace me with someone easier to fool. But what she didn't understand is that I don't compete. I calculate. And the next phase of this wouldn't be about her anymore. It would be about truth. Quiet, undeniable truth. The guy's name was Tyler Grant. Mid-30s. Marketing type with a permanent tan and a curated online persona. He posted gym selfies and captions about grind culture. The kind of man who needs an audience to exist. Jenna had found her mirror. I watched the pattern unfold like a script I'd seen before. She reposted his quotes about new beginnings. He commented under her photos with the same empty fire emojis. Two people convincing themselves this was happiness, when all they'd really built was a stage. I didn't interfere. I observed. That's what I'm trained to do. Analyze, not react. Weeks passed. My house grew quieter, cleaner. I'd replaced the framed wedding photos with landscapes from my last hiking trip. When people asked how I was doing, I told them the truth. I was fine. Maybe too fine. But behind that calm, I was tracking every move. Not to hurt anyone. Not to control. To understand. Because closure isn't an apology, it's information. Late one Thursday night, around midnight, my phone buzzed. Unknown number. No message. Just a missed call. Then, a text came through from that same fake account. Just Tim, 83. One sentence. You don't have to pretend anymore. Pretend what? That I was okay? That I'd moved on? Or that she still mattered? I didn't reply. I just stared at the message until the screen dimmed. Then I opened my security logs. The number had pinged from the same cell tower near her apartment complex. A trace confirmed it, her. Still reaching, still testing. The next day, Tyler posted a photo from her balcony. I recognized the view instantly. The downtown skyline, the glow of the Frost Tower. Caption: peace hits different when it's real. Funny thing about peace, it's quiet. You don't have to announce it. So I did what I do best. I gathered data. Screenshots, timestamps, cross-references. Not to expose her. To prepare. Because people like Jenna, they circle back. Always. Not out of love, but out of curiosity. They want to know if you survived them. And when they find out you did, it shakes them more than any confrontation ever could. I didn't plan revenge. I planned proof. Quiet, simple proof that I'd stopped needing the person who still couldn't stop watching me. And I had no idea then. But the moment she'd messaged me from that fake account, the real story was just beginning. A few days after that midnight message, things started to shift. Jenna's posts got darker. The selfies were gone, replaced by cryptic quotes about outgrowing people who never saw your worth. Tyler's comments disappeared. No more fire emojis. No more couple captions. Something had cracked. I didn't feel satisfaction, just clarity. When someone who leaves you starts broadcasting pain, it's not guilt they feel. It's exposure. Their fantasy version of freedom begins to collapse under real life. By then, I'd already moved on quietly. I'd accepted a new position in Denver, a promotion that came with distance, a clean slate. I didn't post about it. I just updated my city in my bio and let the algorithm deliver the news for me. Within 24 hours, Just Tim 83 viewed my profile 5 times. The next day, 6. I didn't need confirmation, it was her. She'd built her fake account to spy, but now it was turning into something else. Obsession, maybe. Or regret, she couldn't say out loud. One night, just before the move, I got another message from that account. Did you ever love me? Or were you just waiting for a reason to leave? No punctuation. No context. Just that line. I stared at it for a long time. Then I typed 3 words. Good question, Jenna. I didn't send it. I deleted the draft. Silence is stronger when it's deliberate. That weekend, I packed the last box from our old house. The one she'd chosen, decorated, ruled. It didn't feel like loss anymore. It felt like completion. Every photo, every chair, every trace of her energy was gone. The place was neutral again. On my way out, I opened the blinds one last time. The streetlight flickered across the driveway where we used to argue about nothing: trash day, yard work, dinner plans. And in that light, I saw a familiar car parked a few houses down. Her car. Engine off. She thought I didn't notice. But I did. I always do. I didn't approach. I didn't wave. I locked the door, set the alarm, and drove away without looking back. That was the night I realized something. When people say they don't need you, sometimes what they really mean is they need to be missed. And the cruelest piece you can give them is proving you're not missing them at all. Denver felt different the moment I arrived. Colder air. Cleaner streets. No shared memories waiting around corners. I rented a small apartment overlooking the skyline. Bare walls, no reminders. I liked it that way. Work kept me busy. New team, new systems, new expectations. It was the kind of challenge that leaves no room for nostalgia. Still, at night, when the city lights went out one by one, I'd catch myself scrolling. Not through photos of her, but through my own silence. The absence of her voice had become the loudest thing in the room. A month passed before the first sign that she hadn't let go. It came as a direct message from a random account with a flower icon. "I heard you moved," it said. "Do you like it there?" No name, no photo, but I recognized the rhythm. Jenna always asked questions she already knew the answer to. I didn't respond. Instead, I posted a picture from a mountain trail. Snow-dusted peaks, bright sky. Caption: "The higher you climb, the quieter it gets." Within minutes, the same flower account viewed the post. Twice. Then again the next morning. She was following me again, this time under another mask. Part of me wanted to block her, erase every trace of that connection. But another part, colder, quieter, wanted to let her keep watching. There's power in being observed by someone who expected you to crumble. One night after work, I got a call from an unknown number. When I answered, there was nothing, just breathing. Then a click. A minute later, a message arrived. "You really replaced me that easily?" It wasn't accusation. It was confusion. As if she couldn't understand how stillness could exist without her chaos inside it. I didn't reply. I turned off my phone, poured a drink, and sat by the window watching snow fall over the city. There was peace in the distance between us. But peace never lasts long with people like her. The next morning, I woke to an email from HR. Apparently, someone had called the office asking if I was married. Claimed to be conducting a background check. No name left, just a woman's voice. Jenna hadn't moved on. She'd moved deeper. And I knew then, if she couldn't be in my life, she'd try to exist inside my shadow. The HR email sat in my inbox like a quiet alarm. A woman called asking if you were still married. No name, no company listed, just that. I didn't need proof. I already knew the voice behind it. Jenna had always needed control. Even when she said she didn't need anyone, what she really meant was she didn't want to feel replaced. And now, miles away, she was trying to measure her absence by my silence. I didn't report it. I just forwarded the message to my personal email and deleted it from my work account. People like her want reactions, not results. My calm was the one thing she couldn't stand. That weekend, I changed my number, switched my personal email, and locked down every social platform I still used. For the first time in months, everything went quiet. Until it didn't. A friend from Austin called one night, said he'd run into Jenna downtown. Said she looked different. Hair shorter, heavier makeup, eyes scanning the room like she was searching for someone who wasn't there. He mentioned she'd asked about me, pretending it was casual. "How's Ryan doing these days?" I thanked him for the update, but didn't add anything. After I hung up, I checked one of my old backup systems, the same one I'd used to track her fake accounts before. A new username had appeared in the feed. Same location pattern. Same login hours. The name this time was Harper, 1985. It took less than 5 minutes to confirm the IP. Same city as before. Same device signature. Jenna again. She'd made another account. That's when I realized she wasn't just curious anymore. She was stuck, living in the version of my life she no longer controlled. Every post I made, every comment I left, she was there in the shadows, watching. So I did what I always do. I built systems. I created decoys, posts that looked real but weren't. Fake photos, fake events, all feeding her the story she wanted to see. And the more she watched, the more trapped she became in that fiction. The woman who'd said she didn't need a man was now orbiting around the digital echo of one she'd left. I wasn't trying to hurt her. I was teaching her something she'd never understood. When you walk away from someone who builds quietly, you don't get to decide what rises from the silence you left behind. By early spring, the game had evolved. Jenna's fake profiles multiplied, different names, different faces, all following the same quiet trail back to me. Each one followed the same rhythm. New account, a few vague lifestyle posts, then a follow request. Subtle at first, then more direct. She was studying me now, not out of love, but desperation. She needed to know how someone could move forward without her. I let her. Every piece of content I posted was a test. A casual photo at a restaurant with an empty wine glass across the table. A work event with just enough background noise to suggest company. A caption that read, "Some endings make space for better things." Each time, the same pattern followed. Views from her accounts within minutes. She wasn't just watching. She was timing it, mapping it. What she didn't know was that she wasn't the only one running surveillance. I'd built a private analytics system, a digital tripwire. Every visit, every click, every location ping, all logged. The data told me everything I needed to know. She wasn't in Austin anymore. She was in Denver. It took a minute for that to sink in. Jenna had followed me here. The realization didn't hit with fear. It hit with clarity. People like her don't chase closure. They chase relevance. And the only thing worse than being hated by someone like that is being forgotten by them. That weekend, I saw her for the first time in nearly a year. Not in person, not directly. She showed up in the background of a mutual friend's photo. Same hair, same eyes, standing near a coffee shop 2 blocks from my office. She'd even tagged the city in her own post that day. Fresh start. Fresh start. The same phrase she'd used when she left me. I didn't confront her. I didn't text. I didn't block. I just adjusted the settings on my decoy profiles. From that moment, everything she saw about my life became fiction. New apartment, new woman, new happiness, all fabricated through layered metadata, believable enough to keep her chasing shadows. Because sometimes the best revenge isn't punishment. It's peace, so convincing your absence becomes their obsession. And by the time she realized what was real and what wasn't, it would already be too late. It didn't take long for the illusion to work. Within weeks, Jenna was hooked on the version of me that didn't exist. The one who smiled in photos beside a woman she couldn't identify. The one who posted captions about moving on, about building something real. Every reaction she left, every anonymous message, every late-night view on those fake accounts, all confirmed what I already knew. She wasn't watching out of hate. She was watching because she'd lost control. Her posts started to unravel. More emotional, less composed. She shared quotes about forgiveness and self-reflection, sprinkled between photos of crowded bars and lonely brunches. The woman who once said she didn't need anyone now needed an audience to remind herself she was fine. I watched from a distance, detached. It wasn't about revenge anymore. It was about closure, and mine came quietly. One night, I received an email from her real address for the first time in almost a year. Subject line, "Can we talk?" The message was short. She said she'd moved to Denver for work, that she'd been meaning to reach out, that maybe we could grab coffee as friends. Friends. The word was almost funny. I didn't respond right away. I read the message twice, then closed my laptop. The next morning, I took a walk downtown before work. The city was calm, half frozen under a gray sky. Somewhere in that same city, she was probably staring at her phone, waiting for a response that wouldn't come. Instead of replying, I adjusted one of my decoy profiles. I posted a photo from a fake weekend getaway, 2 wine glasses, a fireplace, soft light. The caption read, "Peace is better than closure." It took her less than 10 minutes to see it. The analytics ping confirmed her location less than a mile from mine. She'd been waiting nearby. That's when I understood how far she'd fallen. She hadn't moved to Denver for work. She'd moved to stay within orbit. People think power is loud. Anger, confrontation, victory speeches. But the real power sits in silence, in knowing you're being watched by the person who swore they didn't need you. I didn't answer her email. I didn't meet her for coffee. I just went on with my day. And that night, she sent one last message. "I just wanted to see you happy." She already had. She just didn't realize the happiness she was looking at was built from her absence. Weeks went by after that last message, and for a while, I thought maybe she'd finally let go. No new accounts. No anonymous emails. No digital traces from her devices. The silence felt real. Solid. Like she'd finally accepted the ending. Then, one night, I got home late from work to find an envelope taped to my apartment door. No name. No return address. Just my first name written in her handwriting. Inside was a photo. Me, standing outside my office, phone in hand, looking straight ahead. The timestamp on the corner said 4:27 p.m. yesterday. No note. No explanation. It wasn't fear that hit me first. It was disbelief. The distance between curiosity and obsession had vanished. I sat down at my kitchen table, staring at that photo under the dull light. Jenna had followed me before, sure, but this was different. This wasn't about watching online. This was about presence. About reclaiming space she'd lost. I didn't call the police. I didn't call anyone. I did what I always do. I documented it. I logged the timestamp, scanned the photo, traced the ink. Same printer model she used for her freelance projects back when we were together. Her pattern was predictable, almost mechanical. When ignored, she escalated. When confronted, she deflected. And I'd given her silence for too long. So I decided to give her one final message. Not through words, but through her own obsession. That night, I created a new post on one of the decoy accounts she followed religiously. A single photo of me sitting at a table with another woman's silhouette visible in the background. Caption: some ghosts knock once before fading away. Within 10 minutes, the analytics spiked. Her IP again, her city, her device. The next morning, the envelope was gone from my door. That was the moment I knew she'd seen it. And for the first time in a long time, she understood what I'd been trying to tell her without saying anything. She wasn't haunting me. She was haunting herself. That weekend, I packed a small bag and drove west into the mountains, where signal faded and noise couldn't reach me. I didn't check my phone for 2 days. When I finally did, there were no new messages. Just silence. And for the first time since she left, it felt like freedom, not absence. The mountains changed something in me. Maybe it was the quiet, maybe the altitude, but for the first time in years, I felt distance. Not just from her, but from everything that had happened. It's strange how silence can be heavy when it's forced on you, but peaceful when you choose it. When I got back to Denver, the city felt smaller. Familiar, but harmless. I went back to work, back to my routines. No new photos on my door. No strange calls. Her online accounts, all of them, had gone dark. It stayed that way for almost 3 months. Long enough for the tension to fade into memory. Until one afternoon, a notification popped up on my screen. A tag and a photo from a mutual friend. A reunion dinner back in Austin. And there she was, sitting at the table. Different. Thinner. The smile looked forced. The caption read, "Old friends, new beginnings." I studied the picture for a long time. Not out of nostalgia, but understanding. She wasn't dangerous anymore. Just lost. A person who built her worth out of attention and found nothing waiting when it disappeared. That night, I deleted every backup, every file, every trace of the systems I'd used to track her. I didn't need them anymore. The war was over, and I'd won without ever fighting. A week later, an email arrived in my inbox from her name. No subject, no message, just a photo attachment. It was the same image she'd once sent me of myself outside my office, but this time, the timestamp was gone. Underneath, 3 words written in the body of the email: I get it. No apology, no explanation, just understanding. I didn't reply. There was nothing left to say. The next morning, I posted one final photo on my real account. No faces, no clues. Just a sunrise over the mountains. Caption: some stories end quietly, exactly how they should. That post stayed pinned for a long time. She never viewed it. Maybe she finally meant what she'd said, that she didn't need anyone to be happy. And maybe, for the first time, so did I. I rebuilt everything from silence. My peace, my focus, my freedom. And somewhere out there, she's still scrolling through a world that doesn't include me, trying to figure out when she lost something she swore she never needed. Been through it. When they crossed a line, and you made sure they felt it.